What's up, again there, guys? Bring here the three topics here. We here to share a few rather unusual and I believe first for the channel. Now, I was just kind of just brainstorming ideas, and I just randomly came across a couple of these DMK videos: date, marry, or kill. DMK, which I think actually sounds pretty nice. And I just, sent out requests on my community tabs and just asked a couple of friends of mine and workmates if they had, just a couple ideas of characters they think, who would I compare and who would I put in each different category. So that's what we're going to do for this particular video. Now, remember, I will be sure to give a shout out to each and every single person who sent out an idea. So hopefully they'll be watching. And I hope you guys kind of enjoy where we start. Now, remember, the rules for this one originally were just to pick three ladies from one particular franchise, and then I would decide which one of these two characters that I would date, marry, or kill. So, starting off with the first on my list is really the only person who sent in three different ladies from different franchises, which shows this person technically, maybe unknowingly, broke the rules, but heck, I like her anyway because she's so cool. And that is my friend Lacey, and she sent in the three ladies of Galadriel from Lord of the Rings, Faye from Cowboy Bebop, or Linda Carter's Wonder Woman. Well, this is easy. I would easily kill Linda Carter's Wonder Woman because I just have an open disdain for the character in general. So I would easily kill Wonder Woman. So, who would I date? I would probably date Galadriel, but it would be kind of one of those one-time date things. I think Galadriel is the fact that she's an elf. I don't see a long-distance relationship, a long period relationship being even anywhere possible. And what would I even do with Galadriel? I mean, outside of, walking around the forest, looking at some pretty sights and listening to some elegant elvish music, I guess I could have some deep conversations, but I just kind of feel like it would be like one of those enlightening moments where I take a look at my life and then want to improve myself, which is a good thing, but I just can't see myself being romantically involved with an elf like that. So yeah, I guess I would attempt to date Galadriel. But I guess I would marry Faye, but it would be one of those relationships where I'm acknowledging that because of how flirty and all over the place Faye is, a long-term marriage with Faye probably wouldn't last very long. I would be lucky if it would last 6 months. But yeah, I guess I would have to go with Faye as who I would marry from out of those three ladies. Now, the next group of ladies comes from the X-Men franchise, and this set of ladies was given to me by my friend James, who works with me at my primary job. And he wanted to know who would I kill, date, or marry between Mystique, Storm, or Jean Grey. Now, I just want to give you guys a heads up. If there's a redhead out of any of these ladies, odds are they're the ones I'm going to marry because I openly consider redheads to be the most attractive kind of woman on this planet, just without even questioning. So, but unfortunately for one redhead out of these three, she's going to have to die. And that is going to have to go to Mystique. I would easily kill Mystique. I think Mystique, the problem with Mystique is that Mystique's the kind of woman I think she would just enjoy screwing with me. Imagine that I go in for a kiss and she automatically turns to a guy or someone who I find very unattractive. I really think Mystique would pull off tricks like that, so I wouldn't be very appreciating of that. I would easily date Storm because I think Storm's the kind of woman who, as long as you stay on her good side, you'll have a great time. But if I accidentally do something that makes her feel uncomfortable, or I might say the wrong thing, she might just throw me into a hurricane or strike me down with lightning. So I'd be very, very cautious with Storm. But I would easily marry Jean Grey. But I would make sure this is the Jean Grey, before she gets the Phoenix Force, because the last thing I want is for her to have a bad day or be in a bad mood and she just suddenly disintegrates me. I just think that standard Jean Grey, she would be very level-headed, she'd be very caring, she'd be very loving, and with Scott being the leader of the X-Men, I think he had the perfect match and a future wife. So yeah, I would easily marry Jean Grey. Now, going into these next two group of ladies, these two were both sent to me by my also other workmate who I work at my primary job named Alex. And the first one is that of Final Fantasy characters. And he wanted to know who would I kill, date, or marry between Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, Lulu from Final Fantasy X, or Ash from Final Fantasy XII. I would kill Ash simply because I don't really know much about Ash because I've only played Final Fantasy XII once, and I don't really remember all that much, but she was probably pretty boring, and boring's never good. As much as I absolutely am in love with Tifa, as in she was literally the first, character I ever had a serious crush on. I mean, heck, she's like she's got like, I got her poster on my wall. I got multiple figures of Tifa. I'm absolutely in love with Tifa, but I'm not sure if Tifa's wife's material. So I think dating her would be the safer choice. And I would easily marry Lulu. Not only because she's just gorgeous, she's very level-headed, she's a powerful black mage, and as I saw in Final Fantasy X too, she would make an absolutely great mother. So I think out of all three of them, Lulu is probably the one you want to marry. And heck, I could easily say, having a family with Lulu. Yeah, I would absolutely go with Lulu. Now, the second group of ladies he sent me is going into Mortal Kombat, and this one was definitely a bit tough. But he wanted me to decide who I would date, marry, kill between Shiva, Frost, or Scarlet. This one's a little hard, but I would easily kill Shiva because, one, I'm not really into women that are that overly muscular. That kind of look just kind of makes me feel uncomfortable and really intimidated. Plus, what would I do with a woman like that who's not even, like, she's a Shokan with 4 arms? I mean, what do I do with that? She doesn't even have, like, 5 fingers, so that would just be kind of weird and appealing. Plus, I think she's, like, 7 feet tall, so that would make me feel very insecure. I would probably date Frost, but it would be probably like a one and done type thing, because Frost just kind of seems kind of crazy and entitled, and she has like a very, very short fuse. So she would be someone who I think would get offended very, very quickly. So I can't see multiple dates coming out from Frost. But I would probably marry Scarlet, because even though she's technically a blood witch, I think perhaps if we're, having some afternoon delight, perhaps my increased blood pressure, she might find kind of attractive, as long as she doesn't try sucking it out of my body from all my openings. So as long as we don't do that, I think Scarlet would make a pretty solid wife. But hopefully she might likely kill me. So, but yeah, I think that's the best choice out of the 3. Now the next 3 ladies come from Mr. I hope I'm saying this right, but your name is Domitian Boda 703, and this is a Uncharted set of ladies, which I thought was actually quite nice. And you wanted me to decide between Elena Fisher, Chloe Fraser, and Nadine Ross. This one's pretty easy. I would easily kill Nadine Ross. She is just, one, she's a mercenary, a little too tough, and I don't think she has a feminine bone in her body. So no, I would easily kill her without even thinking a second thought. I would date Chloe Fraser because I think Chloe's the fun type. And I think that's good for someone you're dating. You don't necessarily have to see yourself being with this person long term, but heck, if you want to spend like a short period of time with someone who is gonna not be boring, I think Chloe Fraser is the proper choice. And I think, in a sense, maybe Nathan Drake did the same thing. But I would easily marry Elena Fisher. Elena Fisher just kind of seems the most level-headed. She seems the most stable. And she's also a fighter, but she doesn't actively go out and seek trouble. She seeks adventure and she wants a good story because she's kind of a journalist. But I do believe that in the long term, if things are getting pretty tough, she is the type of woman that would stand by your side and support you. And she generally cares. So yeah, I would easily marry Elena Fisher. I think she would that would be like one of the best decisions of my life. Okay, this one was pretty funny. And this comes from my fellow viewer. I can't really pronounce your full name, so I'll just call you Eric. But this one was pretty funny because it has the only guy on this list. So you want me to pick between Leon S. Kennedy, Ashley Graham, and Ada Wong? Well, Eric, I'm not gay in any sense, so I would easily kill Leon S. Kennedy. Sorry. I might date Ada Wong, but that would much like several ladies we've talked about in this video, that would be like a one and done. I don't think Ada's interested in any kind of real relationship, so I wouldn't even say it would go so far as date, but like maybe a one-night stand. I think that's as far as I could get with someone like Ada. And I probably would marry Ashley Graham. Now, yes, does she seem rather annoying at her age? Sure, but she's only 18. I'm pretty sure that with some training lessons, with some survival skills taught into her, I'm sure Ashley would mature into the kind of woman I could see marrying. So yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Does she seem annoying? Of course, but Again, she's 18 and she's been thrown into a very, very dangerous and stressful environment. So heck, I'm not going to give her a lot of slack for that. So yeah, I would happily marry Ashley Graham. For the next one, we are going into another Resident Evil set of ladies, and this one is a little bit more appealing to me. And this comes from the Batman of Neil Gotham, and he wanted me to pick between Jill Valentine, Ada Wong, or Claire Redfield. I would kill Ada Wong. Again, I don't think she's either the marrying type or much of the dating type. I think it's more of the one-night stand type. So I think, that out of the three, I would happily kill Ada Wong. I would date Jill Valentine, but I don't think that relationship would last very long. I mean, Jill is she's nice. I guess she is charming at times, but I think Jill has a lot of issues. I mean, she's been through a lot. She's probably suffering from a lot of PTSD from her experiences under the control of Wesker. And she because of her job, she just would. I don't really think we would have a lot of time to really connect. And because I'm not the kind of person who would actively seek trouble the way she does, I just don't think that relationship would work out very long. But, dating for like a couple months, I think I could pull that off of Jill Valentine. But I would easily marry Claire Redfield. Claire Redfield is exactly the type of woman that holds things down. Claire is not only a redhead, she's very well trained, she's sweet, she's supportive, she cares about people, she doesn't actively seek out trouble. And there was a quote that Leon had said to her in one of the CGI films about Claire's personality and why she isn't like her brother or Leon. And it was something like, well, me and your brother are warriors, you are a rescuer. So she's the kind of woman who doesn't seek out trouble, but if trouble finds her, she knows she can hold things down. And if someone she cares about is really in trouble, she easily steps up. So that is a personality in any woman that I would greatly treasure and admire. So yeah, without question, I would marry Claire Redfield in a heartbeat. For this next one, I have a regular of mine going by the name of Sinovic. And you want to know, out of all these Metal Gear ladies, who would I kill, marry, or date between Meryl, Eva, the younger version from Metal Gear Solid 3, and Naomi Hunter? I would kill Naomi Hunter because she's already dying. She's only being kept by nanomachines, and she's suffering from some sort of cancer. So, I'd do her a favor and kill her off. I would probably date Eva, because Eva is very flirtatious, and she uses her sex to her advantage very openly. And she's also like a double agent. So, I mean, I might be, like several ladies on this video, I probably could get, maybe a couple weeks out of Eva, but I don't think she would stay around. Much like Snake, she would probably just get up and disappear, and then I wouldn't see her again for many, many years. So yeah, maybe I would date Eva. But I would actually date Meryl, because much like Claire and Scarlet and Jean, she is a redhead, but she's a little bit tougher than someone like Claire, because she is an active soldier and a tough one. And although she doesn't show her feminine or vulnerable side very often, when it does come out, it's very, very meaningful. And those type of moments throughout the Metal Gear Solid franchise, when it came to Meryl's character, were very, very few. But when they did happen, they were very, very impactful, and they were some of the highlight moments that I felt that the character had over the course of her run in the Metal Gear Solid series. So yeah, I would happily marry Meryl. All right, we're on to the last one, and this one I intentionally saved for last because I may have to cheat myself, because I'm not sure I could go through with it because of how difficult it is. So I'm going to give serious props to Mr. Vampire 1056. This was easily the toughest decision out of these three ladies. But we're going back to Final Fantasy, and I have to choose between Tifa, Renoa, and Yuna. I literally have spent an entire day thinking about this once he sent in this idea, because quite honestly, I don't know who I would kill. There's too many good reasons why I couldn't kill any of them. I look at someone like Tifa. Tifa, that's can't do it. Love her Tifa too much. I've loved her since I was 6 years old, since I was 7 years old. First video game character I had a crush on. She is tough. She has a few vulnerable sides. She cares about people. She loves people. She's gone through a lot. She just has too many things in her past, and she has too much room for growth as a character. So I can't kill Tifa. I damn sure can't kill Yuna because of just her backstory and her strong will. And even though she is, the summoner, she easily stands by her guardians. And her dedication to her pilgrimage is so strong. And she's only 17, so to show that level of maturity at that age is just remarkable. Imagine what she could do over the next 10 years. And you see her grow as a character in 10 too. And then you have Renoa. Oh my god. Renoa is probably in my favorite couple in Final Fantasy, because even though Renoa seems like the most damsel in distress type character out of the three, she's not necessarily a fighter like Tifa, and perhaps she's not as strong-willed as Yuna, but any woman who can bring out the best out of a tough exterior like Squall is someone you would want in your life. And out of any Final Fantasy protagonist, I easily compare myself with Squall at all, because me and him are kind of loners. We don't have many friends. We don't like to let people in, and we kind of like to have this kind of lone wolf personality. But Renoa was able to get through that in a way that, when you look at all the other characters, couples throughout Final Fantasy, none of them had that really. She really brings out the best in Squall, and that's something that I'm not sure that the other two ladies do. So I generally am gonna have to cheat Vampire. I can't kill any of these ladies. Now, who would I probably likely date? I would likely date Tifa. And she's probably the only one I feel comfortable saying I could just see us dating. I don't think Tifa's the marrying type, but like, who would I marry between Renoa and Yuna? God, that's hard. That's a coin toss. Vamp, you gotta give me this one. I gotta give you credit. This was by far the hardest. So I'm just gonna say coin toss between Renoa and Yuna. They both would make incredible wives, and they're still young. So you can't really lose with either lady. So yeah, I would date Tifa, and I would happily marry Renoa or Yuna. But again, it would be a coin toss. So yeah, that's my decision. But that's gonna cut it for this random video of kill, date, or marry. I want to thank everyone who sent in their ideas. Now, if this video gets enough views or maybe enough attention, maybe I'll do another one and ask for more requests. But if you guys have any ideas for any future ranking videos or tier list videos or just general discussion videos in general, let me know in the comments down below. And again, I want to thank everyone that sent in your ideas for the ladies I could choose from. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you guys next time.